Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're on to 9.3 inequalities, and we're going to be looking at two-step inequalities. This is very similar to what you have done and what you have been doing. This is just you have to add or subtract anything, then you handle the multiplication and division. So make sure you write this down. The first thing you do, the very first, because I know some of you are still struggling, is you undo any adding or any subtraction. That is what you do. Add or subtract. Then the second thing is going to be multiply or divide. Multiplied or divide. Those are the order that you do. First thing is add, subtract. Second thing is multiply and divide. So let's see, we need to do some dragging and dropping. But this says 9 plus 5.5 times a number is more than 50. So one of the things we know is it's saying it's more than 50. So we know that this is going to be greater than 50. So let's go see what we have to choose from. Well, this one is not saying greater than 50. This one does. Does this one? No, so it is this one. Oh, whoops, I see there's a little box out here. Maybe. Okay. Then the lunch special costs $9 and the Iptology Club can spend at most 50. At most it can spend is 50. At most tells me that it can spend less than. It can also even spend 50, but it cannot spend $50.01. So I know I'm going to be looking for an equation that has less than or equal to 50. How much money, how much lunch specials can they order if they also share a dessert that costs $5.50? So we want to see what we can find. So we see that $9 per lunch plus $5.50 for the dessert is less than or equal to 50. That totally fits. So not only by default can we figure this one out, but if we say we read 50 pages in a chapter about early Egyptian at the rate of 5.5 pages per minute, after how many minutes will you have fewer than 9 pages left? Well, fewer is less than, and 9 is the what we're going to have the less than 9. So right here, 50 represents a 50-page chapter, and 5.5 is the number of pages being read per minute, which is showing as n. Okay, so equivalent inequalities are simply inequalities that have the same solution. You can solve inequalities by transforming them into a series of simple steps, equivalent inequalities. A two-step inequality involves two operations. To solve a two-step inequality, it is usually easier to perform the order of operations in reverse. Important right here, in reverse. So you're going to do addition or subtraction. Remember, I just told you we're going to do this first, just like we did with our two-step equations. And then you're going to undo, sorry, forgot that part, undo multiplication or division. That is your second, and that's a really funky two. Okay, so if we're looking at this, what is the first thing I need to do over here? What is being added or subtracted? That's right, positive 12. So if I'm adding 12, what would I do? I'm going to subtract 12. That is correct. So as we can see, we have the equation. So we're going to subtract 12 from both sides. So let's watch this. So subtracting 12 from both sides. When we do that, we will get x over negative 3 plus 0 is less than 28.9 minus 12, or 16.9. So we need to multiply by negative 3 to each side. No, wait, when we multiply, what do we need to do? If it's a negative, That's right, we need to change this sign to the other direction. So now we get x is greater than negative 3 times 16.9, which will be becomes negative 50.7. Okay, so this is our solution and we need to graph it. So we have an open circle because it's greater than but not equal to, and we're going to this direction. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're going to check the related equation, and what that means is if this was an equation, would negative 50.7 make it a true statement? So we write the equation, we substitute in negative 50.7 wherever we saw x, we simplify, so we get 16.9 plus 12 equals 28.9. When we add this, we do in fact get 28.9 does equal 28.9. Now we're going to check for a number that's within our solution range. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, one of my possible solutions is 0. So since that's possible, I'm going to use it because 0 makes my life very easy. So if x equals 0, I'll put in 0 wherever x is. So then I get 0 over negative 3, which is same as 0. So then I get 12 is less than 28.9. Let's check that. Is 12 in fact less than 28.9? So yes, 12 is going to be less than 28.9. Sorry, I misspoke. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the first half of this video. Make sure you watch part 2 as well. Thank you.